UKLC is presented by Barclays and Curry's PC World.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UK League Championship. We're rounding the day out with our fourth and final game. It is Enclave taking on MnM Academy. Orcs, talk to me about these rosters. These are the other two teams who are going for first in the group. One of them is guaranteed to go 2-2-0 on the day, on the week, sorry. Who are you favoring looking at this?
It's tough because I think on paper, a lot of people are favoring Enclave. I think up there with London, they were one of the stronger rosters come into this. And I think a lot of people are looking at them and saying they are a team to beat. We even heard it earlier today in our interviews. So I think by all means, they are the favored team in this matchup. But MnM came out with a strong performance yesterday. They had a smart draft, really gave them the upper hand in the matchup. And then they came out with a solid performance and really just felt like a one-sided affair. So if they can get a similar draft advantage here, if they can come out with some similar play in this situation, potentially propping up Harry to be that strong carry again, maybe they can take this win over Enclave. And as you said, both these teams undefeated. Obviously, it's only one game, but it does mean they can end the week undefeated at 2-0, and they will. There's only two teams who are actually going to be able to do that over the week, so would be pretty significant if they can be the other roster to do that.
Now, the lane I'm going to be watching is this top lane. Only Angel has been a stellar top laner since his return to competitive play in the UK scene, formerly on MnM as well. So this is a bit of a kind of like a grudge match for him. Obviously, it's the MnM Academy roster versus Aragon, who's kind of been an up-and-comer in the UK scene for a little while. He's kind of been in and out flitting between the UKEL and the UKLC itself. And, you know, now he's here. Now he's on one of these kind of larger organizations within the region. It's down for him to prove his worth, and he's going up against one of the top dogs in the lane as well. So top lane's going to be quite an exciting one for me. Aragon obviously yesterday did just go for the kind of neutral matchup. It was the Ornn versus the Maokai,
I believe.
Completely forgot he's playing Tree Dude. Ornn versus Maokai. We've seen Aragon flex onto carries as well in the past. It's been a while since we've seen him do that, but it is an option. So this top lane for me is the personal lane to watch, but also I do want to watch Gadonica because this guy has had some insane games throughout his entire career. He was playing over in the I keep forgetting the name for it, the qualification for the scene, for the game, for the UKLC. So he played in qualifications and qualifiers, that's the word. Played in qualifiers, and he had an absolutely stellar performance there. So we're learning through to pick some bands. I'm excited to see what we're going to get in the top lane.
I think he might have his work out for him for a bit because Rafa being the most experienced on Enclave, which is surprising to say when you look across the names. Everyone on this Enclave roster has played in a European Regional League. There's Rafa with experience in the Spanish League and also in the Portuguese League. Only Angel, Rabstar, and Shogun all played in the UKLC, and Jacob haven't played the Nordics most recently. It's a lot of experience. Now, I do feel like MnM does have a fair amount on their top side of the map to match, particularly their solo laners, but realistically, the last game they played, when they got that 1-0 victory, we saw the bot lane really step them up. We saw Harry, in particular, on the Sophelios, making a big impact, and in this game, they are respecting him. They are throwing out a ban towards that Caitlyn. Not taking any risks with that one.
It kind of feels like Caitlyn is just going to be a perma ban versus Harry. I don't think we're going to see it. Syndra is going to be the next ban. The set, pretty standard stuff. Also getting taken away here. That Wukong is open, so if one of these top laners goes for a tank, the Wukong is a potential threat that they have to worry about. Kalista, pretty standard ban as well. So far, nothing really out of the ordinary, but there's a lot that I'm seeing flying through. There's the Aphelios ban, so this does mean that things like the Graves are open, the Ornn is open.
Kalista's open, Ezreal's still open, but seeing a blue side Aphelios ban is interesting, we'll say.
A lot of respect for Harry.
A lot of teams either ban out on red side or first or blue side have been picking it up. So clearly this suggests to me that Enclave have a different direction they want to go with the draft. I know Rabstar is sort of a legacy Kalista player. Back when Kalista was that super broken champion, that was something he'd lean on. So understandably, MnM ban away that one. This kind of leaves two champions open and available, and neither of them are going to get taken.
Varus is open.
Varus is open. Ezreal is open. None of them going to be touched. It looks like Enclave is feeling the trade here, but whether that pans out or not could be an interesting one. Essentially, MnM now have the choice to sort of take their pick, or they can pass it over again if they want to take some other champions. With Ornn being taken, it does mean... with Trundle being taken, it makes Ornn's a bit weaker now. And it looks like they're going to opt for Karma and the Ezreal. So remember, this can be a Karma mid. They did flex that with Van Gogh. Yep. But it does deny the Karma Varus bot lane that we saw a lot of popularity for in the qualifiers. Just the sheer amount of poke in that bot lane is honestly extremely oppressive.
I'd actually really like to see the next pickup for MnM to be maybe the Graves here, assuming as that's been left open if they want to get their hands onto that. There's going to be the Ornn pick. Last time we saw the Ornn get picked up, Aragon did answer out with a Maokai, so that is also potentially an option to him. And now it's over to Enclave to pick up their AD carry. The Varus, like we said, has been left open, and it does feel like the natural pickup here for this team. And Enclave, so far, they're really winning out on this draft. I'm seeing 3 solid power picks for them.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the power taking the Trundle first pick. I don't think in its isolation it's that great, but it kind of secures you the Ornn, because it's a really bad feeling to take Ornn into that Trundle. Now, MnM are going to opt for the Jarvan here. They want to keep that flex enabled for the Karma. I do feel like Enclave should throw a Yuumi ban down in this situation. I don't think you want to risk it, because if they end up going the Ezreal, Yuumi, and the Karma, it's going to be such a pain in the later stages. Lulu going to get banned away from Enclave. But if an interesting one, because it doesn't really sync up too well with the poke Varus. And not many people are really playing the on-hit Varus anymore, but the Yuumi ban does come through, so Enclave making a good read in that situation.
Are we just going to see the support pool get thinned more and more? MnM may want to look to ban that away, another support if they want. The Nautilus is still left open if they want to add to the engage they've already got.
That's the thing, is that MnM have the flexibility. Should the support pool get thinned out massively, throw the Karma down as support. Should the support pool still leave you a good option, you have first priority on the next pick, so you can take the option, throw the Karma mid, and then you're still going to have a priority on the support. So a lot of tools available to this MnM side. Then I'm going to look at these mid lane bans. So Azir and LeBlanc going down, and MnM could just go for a top laner here if they want to keep that flex alive for the Karma, or they could kind of just pack it in and pick up a support in this situation, or a mid laner.
Alrighty, well, the LeBlanc banned away, over to MnM. What do they want to pick up? I feel like a top laner is a good pick here. They pick up the Mordekaiser to go up versus Only Angel on this Ornn. And this now means that the flex between the Karma is still very much alive, and for Enclave, they're kind of blind picking their mid lane at this point.
I think it's fine. There's a lot of decent blinds in the current patch. That's an interesting one.
That's a very different pick.
Now, there is also the possibility that they flex the Ornn. That is an option. So the Mordekaiser has been picked specifically in the Ornn because that's a solid matchup. And obviously, you can just kill the tank. You ult the Ornn, getting trapped inside, and you have the percentage HP damage. If that ends up being a Nico top, though, that might be really rough for Aragon, in all honesty. So I guess we're going to see a little bit more information when we see this next pick come through.
Oh, looking for the Soroka here. Okay.
So what I expect to happen here is I expect the Ornn mid, I expect the Nico top, and then you go the Soroka Varus bot lane, and that mitigates all the poke potential of this Ezreal Karma, and essentially just it declares you as winner of the poke wars. So they can just sustain out the pressure from MnM. I think it's a really neat adaptation from Enclave. We're looking to see what MnM bring in here.
Are we seeing that? Oh, okay, they switch out to the Cassiopeia on that.
So
the longest 0 seconds ever.
Wanting some sustained damage to cut through the Ornn if it does go mid, which I hope it does. I feel like it's a better place for it. And also it means that when you have a sort of a short range champion like Nico, it's also going to be a problem. So we'll wait to see if they swap. They may also do what's called a human swap, where the mid laner still has the champion, but then they end up swapping the players to different lanes. Personally, I feel like having the Ornn into the Cassiopeia just means you're essentially just going to soak damage, and the Nico into the Mordekaiser is such a crushing matchup.
Yeah. Alrighty, now we have our overlay. We have our like teams lined out. We can have a rough idea of what we're looking at here. Double cleanse for MnM, which is pretty nice. Now, what are you like? What are you feeling? What's your gut feeling looking just at the comps here, Orcs? Who are you favoring right now?
I really think it depends on where they put this Nico and this Ornn. I think if the Nico goes into the Mordekaiser, it just smashes him. I think if the Ornn goes mid, essentially you win by war of attrition, because you often see Orns go things like the refillable potion, go in the biscuits. You just sustain Cassiopeia, and then you just end up shoving the wave out when she runs low on mana and provide that sort of priority for your team. Actually seeing the on-hit Varus come through here from Rabstar.
Okay. Wow, okay. So this is different from what we're used to seeing. Obviously, you get a very nice 2-item spike once you pick up the Rage Blade and the Blade of the Ruined King. But what do you make of that? Because obviously everybody is prioritizing this Meteor on-hit kind of poke, Varus. What are your feelings about the on-hit Varus versus that?
I think there are situations where you may want to take on-hit Varus. Okay, so there's situations when enemy team has a ton, and I mean a ton of tanks. You could potentially want to take it. So if we switch the top and jungle in this game and you're against Ornn and Trundle, maybe in that situation you're like, okay, on hit's better. But to be honest, I don't think it even matters. You want to play through punishing the enemy bot lane. I think the Comet's still better. To me, I think it's the standard choice. Although Rabstar's opted to go in a little bit of a different direction. So you've gone from like an S+ tier pick right now in Varus to a sort of A tier pick, which is, it's still a decent champion to have in the current meta, but it doesn't compete with the likes of the Ezreal, the Aphelios, and the Poke Varus. It is just weaker. It's on a lower level, potentially even a B tier pick, going on hit Varus compared to the Poke Varus. So not completely sold on this. Again, if you're playing into a ton of tanks, I'd be more favorable, but you're not. That's just a simple answer of it. Are you going to get in range to auto attack a Cassiopeia? Hopefully not, because that's not a fun situation to be in. Are you going to get in range to auto attack an Ezreal? Not if he's playing it correctly. So the end result is we're seeing a scenario where I'm not really understanding the thought process.
And we've seen this switch as well here for the likes of Ezreal's recently, where they've gone back towards the Conqueror. Just that rune pairs up so well with the Death Dance. You're going to be picking up at some point on the champion. Again, makes him extremely tanky. Now, one of the good things for Rabstar is he can, with the on-hit Varus, actually buy a Death Dance. It doesn't really work on the Poke Varus, so I guess at least you have that broken item in your kit. But like you said, I don't think it's really enough to justify it. The poke from the Varus is so nice, especially when you're looking at the comp you have already. You can land so much ranged damage and then just look for the engage when you want, and you always have that peel back. You always have the support from the Soroka when the healing available to you. I feel like if this was Poke Varus, I'd really, really love Enclave's roster.
I feel like as well, if this was a situation where you had sustain on the enemy team, sometimes there are picks that are difficult to deal with if they constantly heal through your poke. That isn't there on the enemy team. It's a Karma. Karma has shields. She doesn't have healing built in the kit. Yes, you can get it Athenes, but if you're maintaining a long distance, you'll never get a chance to charge that up. So again, that's some of my issues. And you were just talking there about the Death Stance. I will say that on-hit champions really benefit from this item, because typically if you go Lifesteal doesn't heal if on hit. The only item that heals if it's on hit is Blade of the Ruined King, because it specifically says this is how it works. With the Death Stance, though, if you have an item like a Ginsu's or a Wit's End, Death Stance does heal off the damage from that. So a lot stronger for on-hit champions. But probably will see that this game. It's just, that's my thought process on it. If you're going up against these tanky champions, you generally want it, but we'll see how things do play out. I think the Soroka gives a strong scaling element. You do have this tanky front line. My only concern is this Nico, because if it is going in the mid lane, it's not going to be an easy lane matchup into the Cassiopeia. There's not a ton you can do other than shove her in. And in the later stages, unless you're finding those great flanks, you're going to struggle. And critically, you're against 2 cleanses on the enemy team. It's rough. It's rough when you're relying on CC.
It's a very safe lineup for MnM. And even if someone does jump onto Harry or Vango, Aragon can just Death Realm them and pull them out of there. And then suddenly you think you're taking out a carry, you're stuck in the Death Realm with Mordekaiser. And that's kind of where Mordekaiser excels. So it's going to be an interesting game. There's a lot up in the air for me. Both of these teams got a win under their belt. Both of these teams looking nice and strong. So it's all to play for them. They are looking to play for first, tied first, coming out of week 1 of the UKLC. Ladies and gentlemen, we are loading through into our last game of week 1. It's Enclave taking on MnM Academy.
And again, last game of week 2. Whoever wins this ties up with Demise at 2-0 on the week. There will be 2 teams who have the flawless week after this game. And obviously, both of these rosters love to prove that. Both these rosters had some glory days in the UKLC. Enclave haven't gone to the EU Masters before. MnM haven't had titles in the UK before. Both of them hoping to sort of establish themselves once again as dominant forces in the UKLC. Now, MnM does also have the roster in the NLC. For Enclave, this was their chance with this team they put together to make their way to the NLC. That is the goal for this split, to re-enter the top level. I think this game would be a good start for him.
If they can find that win. Looks like the pings are going down. Rapstar maybe setting up for a little bit of something here. Probably not going to really do too much though. Karma Ezreal level 1 is going to be pretty horrible to fight into versus Varus and the Soroka. So both the junglers are starting on their top side as blue and red buff a piece for them, so they are mirrored each other at the moment. We're not splitting the map. And Gardonica has the ability to kind of make those level 2 ganks happen if he wants. He's beelining towards his blue buff already. So he may just see if he can put some kind of play down onto this bot lane.
Often see bot lane as a priority point, and we do see the lanes pan out with Nico in the mid lane. Again, I'm not super hyped on this. I think it gives Mordekaiser a good matchup. I think it gives Nico a pretty mediocre matchup, but at the end of the day, it's going for what's comfortable for your players.
I guess the only thing is it stops, you know, the Ornn from getting completely stomped by a Cassiopeia in lane.
I don't think he gets stomped by the Cassiopeia. You know, he goes Biscuits, he goes Doran Shield, he goes Potion, he has TP. Like, Cassiopeia just doesn't have the mana pool to cut through a champion with that much sustain built into the sort of runes he's gone. And then, you know, let's say Cassiopeia burns all their mana to send you back to base, just recall. It's only later on that Cassiopeia becomes a strong pick because you can cut through tanks in the later stages, but in the early stages, one's fine.
Oh, Gardonica actually in the darkness at the moment.
Oh,
Rafa now been spotted. Has to be careful. We'll take a bit of damage from the poison and the twin fangs as Jacob looked for it. But actually, we did see a flag and drag over the wall. Rafa going in onto Gardonica here. Both of these junglers running around with their buffs. But Dreampire was crucially already over there. So if that fight did look to go on, suddenly a Karma was going to show up with the shields. And that was going to get really, really rough.
Pretty costly in the bot lane, though. A lot of pressure being put down on the Harry. They do manage to secure the bot side scuttle, though. And you can see pings coming out as Rafa's trying to match on the other side. He's got priority mid lane. He's got priority top lane.
Oh, Jacob, he's in for a bit of trouble here. He's going to have to try and make his way out. He actually holds his nerve and his summoner spells. Gardonica not going to go for that, as Rafa now will spot him without his flag and drag down there. Prio mid, they can actually just go for this fight. Gardonica's just going to get zoned away. Vango's trying to make his way over, but Rafa just running Gardonica. Oh!
That was not the play. That was not the play. You forced him out of the jungle. He saw red. He was like, I can get the kill. Overcommits, burns his flash. Doesn't get it. Mistake from Rafa.
Take a moment to appreciate how annoying Gardonica's name is to say quick. It's such a tongue twister.
Say it 5 times fast. Backwards.
Gardonica, 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 Gardonica. I had to slow down to keep that going.
He's just challenging you. He's wanting you to step up your casting.
He's my true counter. Names.
I like that some players have really gone for the simple names just to make it easy, like Jacob and Harry.
Yeah, Jacob's a great name. It's not as good as Jake, but...
Do you know why he's called Jacob?
Why?
I'll let you think carefully about that one.
I thought you had a joke. I just realized I got baited really real there. Oh, I hate you.
So you worked out yet?
I think I've got it. Well, I'm gonna let everyone at home figure it out for themselves.
We'll let the viewers think of the answer as well.
Perhaps start dodging away at all these skill shots. Pretty fancy there. Gardonica is going to be spotted out on this ward, so they know that he's at least at the Dragon Pit. He may look to start it because the shove is in favor bot lane, but mid lane's a little bit all over the place. They don't know where Rafa is. Rafa's actually gone and got a base off. Now Gadonica maybe looking to see if he can make something happen down here, but will be spotted out by the control ward. So Enclave do have the information to work with, and the collapse is starting to come onto Gadonica. Have to be a little careful. Another pink gets placed down by Rafa. They know where he is. Shogun going to take out this pink, and Rafa will remain out of vision and out of sight.
Priority now handed over to the Enclave bot lane. We've seen an all-in top.
Oh, only Angel going all in versus Aragon, but Aragon pulls him into the death realm. There's no chance for that, and this will be first blood to Aragon.
I think you'll remember me talking about in draft how the lane matchup should have gone. I think you're seeing why Mordecai is perfectly happy up against the Norn. Gets the solo kill as soon as he hits level 6, and not a good spot to be in for an Ornn. Ornn typically so strong because he's so immovable in the laning phase often and scales incredibly well on top of that. Now Aragon getting a little bit of a lead in that situation. 2 experienced top laners from the UKLC. He's coming out ahead for now.
Holy Angel is actually going to hold his teleport, as we do see Van Gogh get caught out, but the power of the miasma, even with him burning the cleanse, Jacob just couldn't get in range to get the pop blossom on him.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it difficult, the matchup for me. It's just the Cassiopeia is so good at dealing with short-range champion, and Nico is short-range. Now, Jacob's been doing well in this matchup. He's been poking Van Gogh out. He's been challenging him, but I feel like it's going to come a point where you just get outclassed by the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, at least though for Jacob, he does have cheaper item spikes, as Gadonica has to flash the wall.
Oh, I think he got caught out. I think he got pillared out of his flag because his flag was already down. So I'm pretty sure the pillar actually knocked him out of the flag and drive.
Oh, Rafa's found him again. Gonna interrupt him, puts down the king zone. The flag's been placed. The drag will go through this time, and Rafa just bullying Gadonica every time he finds him here on this Trundle.
And that's part of the Trundle, just so good in these 1v1 scenarios. You have to press the attack for the extra damage. When you bite the Jarvan, you drain his attack damage. So very hard to fight a Trundle on his terms, especially when he has his frozen domain down for the extra attack speed. Just gonna be able to force him off and go for this Herald. Typically, we see swaps come in towards his objective, but Rafa's got enough dominance in the jungle just to pick this one up essentially for free.
Yeah, no answer available here for the side of MnM. Rafa quite happy to pick up the Rift Herald. Question is where is he going to use it? I'd like to see it go mid or bot, really. I think only Angel exists to ult. Meanwhile, bot lane actually breaking out for a fight here. Dreamplayer going down. Rabstar's going to find the kill. They've got level 6. Already used the Chains of Corruption, and Harry just getting poked out, shifting into Shogun's healing. Mana's a little bit low for the side of Enclave, so they'll just shove this wave and probably look to go base.
Strong 2v2 though. Dreampire stepping up. He expected the recall to have come in from Rabstar and Shogun. They did fake it. The end result is they managed to catch him out with the Chains of Corruption. Great engage tool from Varus. And when they're playing poke Varus on hit Varus, that tool is still present. Now, Gadonica is waiting nearby. But both of them still have flashes, and they have a lot of healing, but they're stepping up too far. They're now in danger.
They're coming in. Teleport's available to only Angel. True Shot Barrage is going to connect. The Cataclysm's available, but the silence goes down. They're keeping him alive. There's the Cataclysm. There's the flash. The exhaust has already been burnt, and Shogun, with the movement speed, can just bolt away to safety. Enclave, maybe a little bit too greedy, but they're able to get out alive.
Yeah, Summoner's Burn, though, the flash on Rabstar is definitely a punishable avenue when you have a Jarvan, so future gang could come in to capitalize on that. I do think they overstayed for the plate there, but the 2v2 they got still definitely outweighs that situation. They're up in farm, they have that kill. Enclave got to be feeling good right now.
Teleport's available to only Angel if they worry about it, but looks like no one's going to stay for any plates bot lane. Not going to stay for the shove. And there's the Blooming Burst onto Van Gogh. Jacob building towards his Hextech Hosepipe.
A lot of pick potential on this Enclave side with the Glacial Augment that will lead into Spooky Ghost, the Change of Corruption, and then the Ornhorn obviously just able to throw down from a large range. Definitely means that this Cassiopeia may feel a little bit vulnerable later on.
Shogun still has that wish as well, even after that attempt for a kill onto Rabstar from Gardonica. Gardonica's Cataclysm will be coming up soon. Rabstar's still going to be flashless for a fair amount of time, so maybe a rinse and repeat gank could be all they need. It looks like the pings are coming down. They're looking for a dive here. Speed up comes out by Dreampire, but even so, the wave going to start to collapse in, and for the moment, they're just going to take out the vision. Looks like they may just commit for the first Tower of Blood here with the Rift Herald. Remember, they didn't have to swap out. Rafa will use that pillar as a fair amount of damage gets thrown onto Harry from Shogun. They got the dragon spawning up shortly, so feel like Enclave, they don't really want to risk dying with this Ocean Drake up. They want to get their hands onto their second dragon and accelerate their lead at the moment, because you can see at the moment they are 2,000 gold up. And that gold continues to grow with a winning bot side, with a winning mid lane. Jacob, he does not fear anybody on this Nico.
I mean, he doesn't need to. The Jarvan cannot do anything to him. He has flash. He has the ultimate available. You want to throw that down for the shield and the damage. Rafa's going to clear up this dragon, and passive from Trundle does heal you when an enemy dies nearby. So that's a lot of healing from that dragon going down. It's going to be a Cloud Soul. So actually pretty nice here.
That's really nice
for Jacob. I feel like on this Nico,
and for Rafa, he subjugates someone and he just runs them down. The pillar's being used. They've got that Cataclysm. Teleport's coming in. Rabstar gets wished underneath the tower, but Gardonica gets taken down. The charge into the Pop Blossom. First tower into another kill. Dreampire is slowed down by Jacob as he's looking for the barbs. Not going to find them, but they're going to get a second charge off.
Beautiful play there from Jacob as well. Comes out the teleport. You see an Ornn. You expect an Ornn horn. No, it's the Nico in disguise. Flashes forward for the root. Harry gets caught out. Does not expect it. The follow-up there is from the stun. And they manage to pick up that kill. On top of the tower. Actually get the second as well there. So huge win. Just instantly taken off there for Enclave. Remember, MnM opted into that. Gardonica tried for the fight, but he just didn't have the damage to cut through the Soraka healing. And on top of that, the exhaust really just mitigated any attempts he could make in that situation. So really nice coordinated play coming out from the side of Enclave, and it pays off massively.
Yeah, they get themselves 2 turrets. They get themselves 2 kills. Jacob on this Nico, you had your concerns. We all had our concerns, but he's having a fantastic game on this, showing complete mastery. He goes in. He actually might just go for the all-in here. Gets caught out by the Petrifying Gaze, but that was onto the clone. Ult for nothing as Rabstar now looking for Dreampire. Rabstar may just find himself dead, though. 3 members on him. It's going to be the end of your AD carry. Wish wasn't available to Shogun. Now Harry's looking to find something onto Rafa. Harry has to be a little careful, though.
Rabstar sometimes has this habit. Seen him before in the UKLC, where he just oversteps a little bit, gets caught out, and...
Oh, they just kill it onto Harry. There. They get the slow off. They're looking to run him down. Silence comes in, and feel like the comms were a little off there. Rafa didn't realize that they were going to try and get a little bit more, but
yeah,
they do poke him out.
Ambitious there from Shogun to go for that one, but... Flash now down from the Soraka. Rabstar's back up, so at least they still have a definite target for that Cataclysm. So only 3,500 in favor of Enclave right now. MnM still trying to at least match up to them, but the Herald, definitely not something they can contest.
This could just slingshot the gold even further in their favor. Rafa's coming over, disguised as Trundle. Rabstar! That was the play he tried to make earlier. Just gets himself an easy 1v2 kill. He's a few minions off finishing that cull as well. Let's take a little look at the gold here, Orcs. You can see it's been pretty much one-sided across the entire game.
Yeah, there was definitely the early was a little bit slower, and then it just accelerated out control in favor of Enclave, and they don't seem to show any signs of slowing down. Right now, only Angel's just holding up on this weak side, and actually, they're looking for him.
Yeah, he's just caught by the Petrifying Gaze. He has that Searing Breath, he has the charge, he has the flash, gets caught underneath by the They use the Call of the Forge God. Can he find the interrupt? He can find the knock-up.
Wait, he's gonna get the
low. Ganonika's gonna die as well. Only Angel, 1 versus 2, gets an insane outplay.
They overcommit onto the Ornn. He finds the CC under the tower and gets both of them with the help of the tower hits, and the Wish coming in from Shogun clutch to help him out. We said he was playing weak side, but he showed them he's strong enough to handle 2 members of MnM.
Oh my lord, that was disgusting. Now, still got that Rift Herald on Rafa. They may use it to crack open this mid lane. It's already pretty low, but for the moment, the pings are going down towards the Dragon. 45 seconds until that's up. And we expect Enclave to shift their attention towards that part of the map.
It's rough, though. Like, the mentality there is, we're behind, okay? We need to find plays where we have a numbers advantage. We need to find plays away from their strong members. Let's target the Ornn. He's by himself. You know, we got solo killed earlier. He 1v2s you. That is just never a good feeling. And Ganonика, who we'd hope to see a good performance from, really struggling in this game to make an impact. And that's the thing, as the game goes on, Trundle just always is useful being able to pop that ultimate and be tanky. If the Jarvan's behind, sure, you can ult in, but you won't do any damage and you just be squishy.
Oh, Pop Blossom's on. They actually do use the Petrifying Gaze as well there. Jacob tries to buy some space, and in comes Rafa. The Redemption comes down. Jacob's not dying. True Shot Barrage is going to skim Jacob's bum. He is out of there. Now, only Angel doesn't have the Call of the Forge God, so there's not going for more. The Dragon's up. That's where the attention's going for Enclave.
1 man down, though. MnM didn't look like they were going to contest, but even less chance of it now. Going to shove this mid-wave out. Going to let the Trundle start up on the objective. Ganonika's trying to walk over, but I'm not sure there's much of a chance of that.
Yeah, even with the double pinks, I don't think it's worth it. He's going to step away. That's going to be 1 away from Cloud Soul here for Enclave. They are so close at this point.
Well, there is a silver lining. At least it's not Ocean Soul.
True.
Herald's going to be thrown down in the mid lane. They're looking to finish this siege off quickly. And she moved on to the second turret with a charge, but it'll be a little bit cautious.
I think he wants to base here.
Yeah,
okay. But look at the gold lead between the 80 carries. The discrepancy is massive. Same with mid. Jungle is horrifying as well. Rafa is just walking circles around Ganonика right now.
The only lane that's close is top. And even then, only Angel's ahead. The gold lead in total is 6,500 right now. And just everyone's so strong. And the thing is, if you look at the gold lead between supports and think 1,400 between supports, so what? But especially with this scaling support like Soraka, you can buy these high-impact items like the Redemption that you can use at a large range in tandem with your Wish. And it just means that one of the big things I talk about is cross-map plays. Is when you're not as strong as the other team, make a play somewhere else. And when you're dealing with the Wish and the Redemption, that's just not a viable option, because you try and go for the likes of Only Angel alone 1v2, and suddenly he gets healed, and he survives longer than you expected, and then potentially the Redemption comes down, and suddenly you're no longer dealing with a simple one person on a weak side of the map. You can end up backfiring quite heavily like you did before. Now, Jacob looking for Vango here.
Yeah, they got the pillar. Miasma's enough to scare them off, though. Ganonика in the wings. Spooky ghosts have been sent out. They know who these members are. Going to be able to protect out on these control wards here for the side of Enclave. Now, with the Dragon spawning up in 20 seconds, they are going to maybe look to shift their attention towards this part of the map. You can see a few wards here and there dotted around inside the jungle, but nothing too big at the moment. You've got the Guinzus, you've got the Blade of the Ruined King on your Varus. He will be able to take that objective pretty quick at this point.
Absolutely will. And on top of that, with the Soraka and with the Trundle, potentially the Ornn, you have tanks who are just able to soak up the damage for such a long time. So, the last now. Harry.
Oh, he's used the shift. He's been subjugated. He's been slowed. They tried to predict him jumping away with a flash, but the silence was too much. There was nowhere to go. Harry goes down. Rabstar's on the map. No any carry. This could be Enclave's moment to move over and get control of the jungle. They're going to defend these pink wards, but that may just cost Ganonика his life. He gets slowed down by the spooky ghosts. into the slow zone. The Silence is going to come out. Jacob looks for the barbs, but isn't going to find them. Gadonica flashes away as Only Angel headbutts the wall. And it should just be the turret now being sieged up as Aragon goes in. They get the Cataclysm off of Only Angel. He has to flash away over the wall. Vango looking to close in onto the sidelines here. And Enclave, maybe a little bit too overeager.
Yeah, stepped up too far. Getting Cataclysmed under the tower was actually a good call from Gadonica. Both being forced to flash away just because of the aggro. Both of them having those AoE burn items in the Bami's Cinder and the Cinder Hulk. So as soon as they're on the tower, they'll get aggro. And they're tanky, but they're not that tanky. Still though.
Yeah, Only Angel actually has no armor to speak of at the moment. So towers are really going to hurt him.
Yeah, not super needing armor at the moment because the Jarvan's not doing a ton of damage. And the Ezreal is quite far behind and not really hit the item spike. So Magic is just making a lot of sense, but we'll be picking up armor shortly, which will sort of match the point where Ezreal hits the spikes. But right now, we're seeing that nice 2-item combo from Jacob with the slow zones.
Oh, landed that.
Here on Vango. He's going to go for the poke for now, though, but he's just baiting him. He's waiting for people to walk up. No way Vango gets out.
Oh, the flash petrifying gauge isn't enough. The Pot Blossom is going to go down. Teleports there. Rapper chasing onto Vango. The Subjugate has been used as they pull him back. Death Realm's available. Aragon gets caught out in silence for the moment. Here comes the call of the Forge God. Vango is low. Vango is run over by the Ram. And Enclave find himself the kill.
The 4 members of MnM have moved up to support. And Varus, he's pushed the wave up mid. He's now heading over towards the dragon. Cloud Soul is on the cards here. He might try to attack Ramstar, but he has his ultimate, he has his flash.
And the exhaust available. Just going to instantly go in with the Blade of the Ruin King proc. And Gadonica now caught out, has to get the cleanse. Mikhail's used by Dreampire. Jacob teleports back to join his team as well. Dragon spawning up soon.
They shove the wave up mid.
Gadonica once again goes for it. Just going to be Rapper tanking the tower, though. He is fine to do so. Okay.
I guess that's Soul.
I guess that is Soul.
I think Gadonica not respecting the damage he took when he went in, and the Blight stacks as well being built up allows for him to be finished off. Cloud Soul now in the pocket of Enclave, and they are just looking so good this game.
23 minutes on the clock. Enclave running around with the Cloud Soul. 6 minutes away now from that Elder Dragon. We haven't seen one yet. During the UKLC.
I think this is the first game we've had like a 4-0 in terms of dragons. Usually one side has at least some. Either they pick one up early to delay it, or they pick up the third one. But this is just Enclave having complete control. Yes, 2 members have died, but no towers have gone down. They got both heralds. They got all 4 dragons. Not quite perfect, but pretty close so far from Enclave.
Spotted out by the spooky ghost there. Gadonica needs to be careful. They get a good pillar. They can interrupt the Flagon Dragon. That just might be the end of the jungler. Aragon pulls one back, but Gadonica trying to turn it around. Here comes the True Shot Barrage. They've used the ultimate, and Aragon, he's actually not even interested in fighting at the moment. The Redemption's going to come out from Shogun to heal everybody up, and Aragon could just get caught out. Not going to find it.
Peak Trundle gameplay. Peak Trundle gameplay there from Rapper. I feel like the limit of Trundle is so high with the pillar. It's a pretty difficult one to time perfectly. You can interrupt so many dashes with that. And the placement can also be used to maximize the knockup. It's a pretty underrated part of the kit. It has a lot of strength, and he's been using it consistently to interrupt that dash. Now Vango could be caught out too.
Yeah, he's using it miasma. He can't really go much further. The silence, the knockup. Only Angel secures that kill. That is the end of Vango. 0-4 on the Cassiopeia. Not been his most solid performance, unfortunately, for him. Only Angel, he's starting to hand out those upgrades. The Might of the Ruined King for Rabstar, the Infernal Mask, and the Forge Fire Cape. Only Angel just doing his best to play interrupt for the moment, but look in the bush. Jacob is looking to close in. Rapper gonna place a pillar. Aragon's already been chunked out, and Jacob's gonna force him to flash away. Gadonica gets caught out. He's just gonna fall here. Throws that Cataclysm onto Jacob, but all they did was lose their jungler and not even test vision too deep. This will be the end of Baron Nashor. Enclave have a solid grip on this game from start to finish, and they are continuing that trend at this point. 25 minutes on the clock. The gold lead is 11,000 gold. The item spikes starting to be big. Ravstar has 3,200 gold. So that's a full item.
That's a lot. That is a lot of gold. And I think he's thrown it a bit further. Might just pick up the Death Stance now. You have a gold graph to show you in the meantime, however.
Oh, Hurricane.
And you can see it's just elevated further and further as the game has gone on. Now really spiking at over 10,000 point. Yeah, he's going to go actually Hurricane and the Stopwatch. So potentially could have gone the Death Stance there. He's going to get a bit more attack speed. He's going to be able to apply those stacks in an AoE. Also does help with that pushing power.
I feel like he trusts Shogun enough at this point not to die. And then it'll probably be a 4th item Hurricane for him. Sorry, Death Stance for him.
See Ravstar actually looking to stack up the wave. Trying to sync the crashes in together with bot lane. So now they have to answer this wave in the bot side from the Ornn. They also have to answer this wave mid. Some smart play coming out from Enclave. Clearly a good understanding of the game that we don't see from every team in the UKLC.
Ooh, Ravstar did take a fair amount of damage, and the flank's coming in from Aragon. This could be a little dangerous. That's the flash, the Petrifying Gaze. They get the kill onto Ravstar, and that's an easy shutdown. Shogun will be next to full. He's pulled in the death realm. He's trying to run around as quick as possible, but Harry will secure the kill. Garadoka goes for the dunk onto Rafa, and now Rafa's like, right, you're stuck in here with me, mate. Get some serious damage off onto him in return, but turret in the top lane will fall to Jacob. You trade out 2 for 1 on the towers.
Good coordinated play from Enclave, but it's instantly punished by the engage coming out from MnM. They throw the TP flank in. Vango gets a beautiful ult flash, and Ravstar's left wishing he'd bought a QSS. End result is, though, he goes down, Shogun does too. And MnM finally showing a bit of life in this game.
Finally, a bit of bite. Vango's had such a rough game. Got that beautiful flash Petrifying Gaze onto Ravstar. Varus can go nowhere at that point. He will get taken down. You can see that picked himself up a Vampiric Scepter, so it could either be the Mercurials or the Death Stance next for him. We'll have to see what he wants to go for. Zhonya's onto Jacob.
1 minute on that Elder Dragon, and that is something you can't afford to give up. Now, what I will say is in this game, the levels are still pretty close. Vango, even in XP to Jacob, both level 16. Ravstar only 1 up on Harry. Aragon and only Angel close. There's a discrepancy in the jungle, but for the most part, the XP gap does get closed when you pick up kills like they did in that last fight, but even so, it's mostly just the gold and the soul that are significant here. And it's a big hill to overcome, but if they can get this Elder Dragon. There's still a hope.
Is indeed. Aragon has to be careful walking into that bush. They're actually going to force them out momentarily, but this looks like the Call of the Forge Gods coming out. The teleport flank there, only Angel. Actually, it's Jacob. He gets caught inside the Cataclysm. He has that Zhonya's available if he needs to use it. Garadoka gets slowed down momentarily. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the fight, Vango is just getting demolished. Enclave find themselves a very quick 3-0 team fight for themselves. And now they can look to crack open this base. And this could just be game for them here.
They're looking for it.
Remember how quickly they're going to take out these turrets with the on-hit Varus. He's got so much attack speed to work with. Only Angel can tank to make sure the minions stay alive. And these turrets are going to melt Jacob as well with the passive. Also doing a lot of bonus damage as Garadoka is just being zoned away with the Hextech Hosepipe. The Nexus has been left bare. Garadoka is going to be able to flag and drag away. He's not going to pad the stats for 29 minutes on the clock. And this game's going to Enclave.
Earlier today, we saw London go down, and I thought maybe the same could happen to Enclave, but they're not about to slip up. A really one-sided controlling game. A couple of mistakes, but Enclave's shown that they are the real deal. They are the team we expected when we saw this roster.
Yeah, fantastic stuff there from Enclave to get that win. Now, we are going to cut to a quick break, but when we're back with an interview with a jungler for Enclave, Rafa. So we'll see you after this break. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UK League Championship. We are rounding down on the day, and what better way to do it with a interview with Rafa, the jungler for Enclave. Rafa, buddy, how do you feel after that win?
Hello, pretty well. I think we played way better comparing yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are now tied up in the top spot with Envision. Am I right in saying that? Demise. Sorry, it's Demise. You're tied up with Demise in top 2. Looking at like the other teams in the league, are there any other teams in the UKLC who you feel that you're going to be competing with at the top for a while, or are you pretty confident in your position at the moment?
I mean, everyone wants to promote to NLC, so I think like every single staff and my teammates, we just want to win every single game. So I think like we want to just keep on the top 1, and maybe like the only rival maybe will be London, but I don't know. I mean, it's still too early to know everything. Yeah.
So how, obviously you're new coming into the UK scene, having played in Spain and in Portugal before. How has it been fitting in with all your UK teammates who are quite known names in the scene?
I mean, it was really nice. I mean, I really like how my teammates are playing and everything. And I don't know, I'm liking everything on UK for now. Yeah.
Awesome. Are there any other junglers who you would maybe consider to be a rival here in the league, or is there anyone that maybe you're a little fearful of or anything like that?
I mean, I only know Warden, so maybe Warden. But I don't know, like, I'm not scary. I think like I'm way better than every single jungle in this league, so I'm feel really confident against any jungler on this league. Yeah.
Awesome, cool to hear.
So we spoke, I remember speaking a little bit to Shogun, and he was talking about how you're the shot caller for the team because you have the most experience. How has that role been for you on this roster? And is there a lot of people talking at the same time? Are you sort of like the leading voice for them?
Yes, so basically we have our comms are divided. I mean, me being like shot calling ill game and main shot calling, but we have like assignments. So like, for example, Jacob and Angel, they shot call lane assignment, for example. And we have like Shogun and me, like we call for vision, and yeah, like everyone actually just talk. Everyone talks. So even though I'm the main shot calling, the comms are divided. Yeah, and everyone talks.
Good to hear. Congratulations, Rafa, on your win, and good luck for your games next week.
Thanks.
We're rounding that out here over on the interview networks. Let's have a little look at everything that's going on tomorrow. Let's have a little look at the standings, Keely, see where everybody falls after the end of today's show. Demise and Enclave do sit at the top with 2-0. Then it is Envision, London, and Munster, and MnM, all with 1 apiece. And then unfortunately for Barrage and Bulldog, they are 0-2 as far as it goes here in the UKLC. So they've got a bit of work to do to pull this back, as they had a pretty rough run of it this week.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of unexpected results. I think London getting the 1-1, obviously not what they'd hoped for. They need to sort of shake that up because they've had one really solid performance and one that just looked a bit abysmal. Barrage, I mean, being an academy team, you're hoping to get that opportunity to sort of envision yourself as being one of the stronger rosters, getting the experience from the main roster to help you out, but going 0-2 a little bit rough. And I think the front runners, I think Demise, I'm not completely convinced on yet. They've had some good performances, but I still want to see more. But Enclave so far looking like the real deal.
Enclave really, really looking strong. Now, guys, that will be wrapping it up here at the UKLC for this week. However, if you are a fan of UK League of Legends, we aren't done. We actually broadcast 4 days a week here on the UKLC, but tomorrow will actually be the NLC. So we have 2 days of our main league. That's where Fnatic, XL, the main Munster roster, the main MnM roster have all moved over to. So if you want to catch, all our big teams and the teams playing for a spot in the European Masters, you can join us same time, same Twitch channel, or if you're watching on the BBC, we'll still be on the BBC at the same time as well. You can come join us here for more UK League of Legends action. There are a few new additions additions moving over from the Nordics joining us in the Northern League, and there'll be more to talk about that tomorrow. We have a great lineup. We have the Troublelink joining us. We have Scoundrel once again joining us. It wouldn't be UK League without him. We have Gulborg, who was joining us for the finals last year, last split, if you remember him. And we have Veteran as our guest on the desk for this week's show. So make sure you join us for the NLC, or the Northern League Championship. We're going to wrap it up here, though, for the UKLC. Thank you very much, Hawks, for joining me on the show for the last 2 days. And thank you very much for watching us at home. We will see you next week.
See ya.